Thank you all for being here for this extremely important topic. I'm going to speak briefly about my bill that I introduced last year called the Holding the Chinese Communist Party Accountable for Infecting Americans Act. And that's exactly how it sounds. How can the American people hold the Chinese Communist Party accountable? And why would we? Well, they lied and they tried to cover up their role in starting and spreading this global pandemic. That's a fact. That's something we do know, that they did lie, that they stopped domestic flights but not international flights. This much we do know, whether it came from the lab or not. We do know that. And at best, China lied about when they knew about the virus. They jailed journalists and disappeared doctors who dared to tell the truth, and they failed to inform the rest of the world immediately about the pandemic. Now, at worst, even though a year ago the press smeared anyone who said this was as a conspiracy theorist, China did all of this because they knew the virus escaped the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and they were directly responsible for the COVID-19 pandemic. The evidence and common sense strongly supports this. We need a full investigation into the origins of the pandemic so we can get to the truth. But the bottom line is that China is at fault for this. People died and lives were destroyed, and Americans should have the right to sue the Chinese government. Right now, China is protected from Americans suing them under the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, which limits legal action in the United States courts against foreign states. My bill will hold the Chinese Communist Party accountable for infecting Americans by removing that protection. If nothing else, passing this bill will show the world that Democrats and Republicans, the entire United States, shares a common interest and commitment to holding the communist regime accountable. We came together to pass a similar bill, and this one is modeled after the bill that allowed the victims of 9/11 to sue state sponsors of that heinous act. We should come together again as Americans to hold Beijing accountable. It'll show the Chinese Communist Party that they're not going to get away with this. It will make them pay for the havoc they've wreaked on Americans and people around the world, including their own citizens. And I can't for the life of me understand why Democrats aren't clamoring to be on the stage with us. I can't understand that. We're beating our heads against the wall trying to figure that out. We did not politicize this. We are blaming China. We're not blaming Democrats for the virus. And yet there seems to be a lack of desire, a lack of curiosity about where this virus came from, and certainly a lack of commitment to holding the Chinese Communist Party accountable. And we continue to invite Democrats to be on the stage with us and join the China Task Force. And I ask Speaker Pelosi to bring this bill to the floor immediately so that Americans can hold China accountable. Thank you, and I yield back to our esteemed leader.